People actually take their phone and while I'm interviewing them, they're recording themselves and then they turn it around. I'm like,
I think that's
you gotta do it that
way. Yeah, but yeah, I feel you, man. Like, I was just trying to, keep it.
No, I got you. I follow you. I played your other song, the one that you did with Dynasty.
Yeah.
And there was a few people in here that were like,
yeah, that's actually one of the best songs I know.
Is it?
No, this is Wildlife. Yeah.
My responsibility to you.
I like this one a lot, man, because kind of like the story behind it, which I want to tell on my air. But and then the clip too, man. James Baldwin, dude was a great person.
You're still a 5%, if you know.
Yeah.
Okay, because my barber is also a 5%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. What's his name?
He goes by Lord Truth.
Alright, I know.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
He's actually like down the street, down here.
Right.
Barbershop. Okay. Yeah. And then Deacon, I don't know if you know Deacon.
Yeah, I know Deacon. Yeah.
This is why I thought it was like, the group. I'm like, did they recreate this? Like,
this is from Tony Williams' lifetime. Actually, I was at a Black Sox concert when I found out about this sample.
Okay.
It was the one at the Strat Center. Remember that one? It was like 2008,
Okay.
2009.
Probably missed it,
Yeah. But yeah, Mos Def was like, kind of did a set afterwards where it was just him and his brother. His brother was a DJ or whatever.
Okay.
And his brother like played this original sample from this. And Mos Def was like kind of real moved by it. He like stopped him and like told everybody in the crowd like, this is like my favorite fucking song of all time. And he was like, it's called this and this and you need to check this out. And I was like, write this shit down. So I went home and fucking looked it up and yeah, that's how I made this beat. Was off of that song.
Every so often I go on Mixcloud. And like people play like soul samples.
Right.
And once in a while they'll just put everything that they played off of the like the whole playlist.
Right.
And every so often I'm like, damn, that was a producer. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what's great for that? What website is that? Who Sampled?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
but they'll play all the original shit. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like they won't play who sampled it or anything.
Right,
like you can pick up who sampled something, and once in a while it's like, yeah, somebody should, and of course probably somebody has,
right?
Because you don't get to hear every single song everybody has,
right.
But it's still kind of cool being able to flip it maybe in a different kind of fashion.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody has sampled it, and if they did, listen to theirs and go, okay, I can change it up.
Right.
What about the sample for out of the Depths?
So that's from Miles Davis.
That's from who?
Miles Davis.
Really?
Yeah, that's from
I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, I've heard this.
Yeah, it's this crazy like experimental album that he did in the 70s.
Yeah.
Or actually, it might even be the 60s, but it's called Bitches Brew.
Okay, yeah.
It's from Bitches Brew.
Okay.
And it's just it's like a tiny little part of that. Okay. I don't know if I can't say that on the radio.
What, Bitches Brew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say Bitches Brew?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this.
Okay.
It is your Saturday Night Shutdown on WMNF 88.5 FM. Concep del Incognito, DJ Silent Rage, a.k.a. DJ Shazam Restrictor, Soundhound Restrictor, Song ID Restrictor, in the Kenny K Studios, doing his thing. And we're rocking till 3 o'clock in the morning. Mr. Knowledge is in the building.
Peace, what up?
From, should I say, Indigenous Ways Music?
Yeah, you can say that. That
okay,
works.
Definitely. We just played Wildlife, and you told me an interesting story regarding the sample of that joint, which I thought was actually an actual, like a group, your group, Indigenous Ways, got together and kind of recreated a sample, but it's actually from who again?
It's from Tony Williams' Lifetime. which Tony Williams is like a jazz drummer, and
Okay.
and really did a lot of progressive kind of jazz drumming in the 70s and 60s and whatnot. And so, I was basically, the story behind that one is that I was at a Black Star concert at the Strat Center here, and, Mos Def was kind of just doing this small little set after their set together with his brother, the DJ for his group. And he was just talking about how, like, there was this one particular song by Tony Williams' Lifetime that you just got to hear, and, he was talking to the crowd or whatever, and he was like, yo, play that, and, he played this song, which is actually called Wildlife, the song, and it just has this real captivating intro to it, man, like, and I actually kept it in the song that I made or whatever with it, but, yeah, it just really inspired me. I wrote that song down as soon as he said what it was, and then just made a beat, by myself with it, and it's basically just, it's one of the more simpler beats I've made because it's just really looped. I really didn't even add nothing to it, dude. I just chopped it and looped it. I didn't add no drums, nothing. It's just like the sample, just looped up and chopped up is all it is.
How long have you been producing?
Man, I started producing like in 2005 with like Fruity Loops. Mm-hmm. But all those beats were so trash, man. They were like the worst, man. Like I didn't really have any idea of what I was doing, so I didn't really get good at producing until I met like my man Logic for Beats, once I met him in like 2010, I think it was. That's when like I really started getting better because he taught me a lot more about how to chop up samples and stuff like that. Then I got the machine in like 2011, the Native Instruments Machine Micro, and so 2011 was when I really started like making beats and like making stuff that's actually worthy of being on the album. So okay.
Sorry. Then what's the name of the album?
So the album is called From the Darkness Comes the Light.
Okay. Why that name?
Well, basically, the album came about. I was going through a real tough time, had a real bad breakup, and really just kind of fell into a slump, you know what I'm saying, and was just kind of going through the motions, man, was in a real rut, a real depression, if you will, and so that's kind of when I started writing this album, and it just kind of culminated, and it just turned into like a collection of thoughts of just like, bad things happening in my life, but then like ultimately things started looking up for me, and so that's where the whole concept came from. It's like sometimes you got to really go through hard times to get to the better times, so From the Darkness Comes the Light kind of personifies that, and then it's also something that kind of goes back to my roots of like my culture and how my way of thinking, because it's also like people like to forget and put a negative connotation to things that are dark, things that are black, things that are, obviously this. And so I like to remind people that, darkness is is the foundation. So that's where everything comes from. So without darkness, there can be no light.
Exactly.
So, it's important to recognize that there's that balance that needs to be maintained in the universe. And so that's kind of also why I named this album that.
Okay. How many tracks?
14 tracks.
14 tracks. You can find it at?
You can find it online at knowledgeisinfinite.bandcamp.com.
Okay. Nominal fee available, but it's.
You can figure that out once you get there.
Once you get there,
reasonable,
Yeah, exactly. You have also hard copies for those, just like like myself. I'm one of the few that still
old school, man. CDs, man. I like these.
I like my, nothing like tangible good.
Right. Yeah. I really wanted to press them on vinyl, man. It's just like a little expensive.
That you might have somebody back there. There's a contingent that still likes their vinyl.
Right.
I just don't have a turntable, So I'm one of those that could have it, look at it, and go, it looks nice, it looks great, but I can't do anything with it. But a CD, I could listen to that in my car and at home and wherever else. You got another song that's called Out of the Depths, which I listened to earlier, and I definitely like the sample. And that's from, you said, Miles Davis?
Miles Davis, yeah. I sampled that song. it's another one of those tracks where it's really not a whole lot you had to do with it with the sample. The sample was kind of like there ready for you to just do it, do the damn thing with it. So I made the drums myself, and then it's just a sample from Bitches Brew, which is an album from Miles Davis, I believe from the 60s or the early 70s. Yeah. And so it's a very strange kind of sample when you hear the whole thing out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like the part that I captured for this song in particular is just, it's real gritty, has a real grimy kind of feel to it. Yeah. And so instantly, as soon as I made the beat, it was just kind of like one of those things that kind of just gives you that screw face, Yeah. And so like...
That's what I was doing when I was listening in.
Yeah, man, it kind of has that gritty, like, old school cypher feel to it. And that's why I went with the format of the song, too. There's no chorus on it. Mm-hmm. It's just like 4 different MCs, just verse after verse, back to back to back to back.
Definitely.
And, just like no frills, man. It's just like good old beats and rhymes.
No, definitely.
It's one of those
I listened to it a little bit on my phone, and it just wasn't doing it justice.
Yeah, you need to hear it.
No, when I got here to the station, I got to play it, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, because especially that track is prominent with the bass, and so that's hard to hear with your phone, so you really need...
No, exactly. The phone just doesn't do it justice. Yeah. It's like, it's okay. Yeah. It's all right. Do you have... okay, he's got it queued up. So let's get into that song, Out of the Depths, featuring Knowledge, Logic for Beats, Zace, and Raheem Samad.
Yep.
So let's get into that song, and definitely look for the album. It's Knowledge is Infinite, and that's .bandcamp.com.
That's right.
And we'll talk to you in just a few after Mr. SR gets back into his mix after playing your song. All right. It's a Saturday Night Shutdown. He has to eventually...
So I had to press this R button, right?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Because I can do it from over here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
See?
Logic for beats.
Yeah. It's those.
Oh, those are
it's time to get up.
Yeah, it's funny, like this song, like literally there's just one curse word in it, and it's only in his intro when he's just talking. And so I'm like that's the only thing I had to like edit. No one else's verse.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, but it's crazy. Actually, I'm kind of proud of myself because I went back and listened to the album. It was like 6 songs with curse words, and like even those, there's like one curse word on the song.
Yeah, but it's not that gratuitous type cursing, because every so often we get some, like he'll even tell you once in a while he'll get something and the song is just absolute fire, but it's like every other word is fuck, shit, nigga, fuck, shit.
You can't even enjoy it when you hear it.
You can't do anything with it. If you chop it up, it's like, that I work the Bucks games once in a while. Once in a while, I don't know if they're going to do that, continue doing that this season. I think they may have stopped it like last season.
Right.
They would do the whole iPod, like what's in so-and-so's iPod. And while they're practicing or warming up, they're throwing the football back and forth, stretching. It's like, this is so-and-so's iPod, and we'll be playing one of their songs.
Right.
And there was one time that they were playing Lights, Camera, Action from Mr. Cheeks, and it was so chopped up that it was like, why are you even bothering with this song? You can't play this shit. Like, it just, like, the verse was, like, skipping literally.
Right.
I'm like, you can't even clean this shit up. How the fuck are y'all even play this?
It's kind of a shame. And the thing is, too, it's funny, is like, it's not like cursing per se is like a bad thing. And like,
no, it's not.
It could be done, but yeah, I just feel like for music in particular, if you want to reach like a broader kind of...
It's not that you don't have to curse. It's just, for me, like one of the things that I said at a conference some time ago, I told the crowd, I said, when we ask you for music, clean up your shit and have it available. Not, oh man, let me get back to you. We ain't got time for that. We don't have time for that. When I ask you for your song, if we really like it, you should be able to say, oh, like I asked you for extra songs. Let me get off my phone. Send it.
Yeah.
Not, you know what? When I was in the studio, I didn't get to do whatever, and it's like, now I gotta wait a few weeks,
Right.
You know? Or no, can you clean it yourself? Fuck out of here, man. Every so often, we just get people that call up in the middle of the night.
Right.
There was one guy that would call us for like, I don't know, like a year and a half, and he was leaving always. What is it now? The place that's next to what used to be Full Moon Saloon in Ybor. What the fuck is the name of the place? I can't. It's like 5 stories tall.
Piranha, you talking about?
Is it Piranha? Yeah. I think so.
It's like a club. Yeah, it's Piranha.
Yeah. See, I've gotten that old that I've even forgotten names.
I haven't been to that spot in like 9 years, dude. So I can
It's just about, you know. I think I made it over there for like an after party. I made it through. Went to the DJ booth on the first floor.
When are you gonna come back up? Start breaking down in a minute.
Okay, we can come back up in 5 minutes if you want to finish up, or it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll play one more and I'll play this one.
Okay. I'll play the instrumental from here because so you can break down. Actually, what other song do you want me to play?
I sent you.
You sent me 4 more. So.
Yeah. Play.
I have My Thrill, Love, Hell, or Right, The Ultimate Sacrifice, and Second Thoughts.
Play Love, Hell, or Right.
Okay.
That's like my favorite song on this album.
Okay.
You remember the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I have not seen that movie.
No? Oh,
No,
man.
every time that I mean to go watch it, it's one of those that it's like,
This song is basically a synopsis of the movie.
oh really?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
I sampled the movie after I watched it, and then like wrote a song as if I was Jim Carrey's character in the movie.
Oh, word?
Because it also kind of like coincided with what I was going through with my girlfriend at the time, now wife.
Okay.
So kind of like,
did you break up with her and then
Yeah,
go back together?
yeah.
Okay, that because I wanted to ask her. I was
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't.
No, yeah.
You know, I was
That's
kind of concerned.
where
It's
the
like, wait a
start
minute.
was.
No, it's a different woman. It's like,
No, I got you. Yeah, that's where the start was. Though. It was like when me and her like broke up, we had like kind of this bad breakup at first, so we didn't talk for a few months, and that was like kind of the start of it. And yeah, it was just like back and forth for a few months. Let's just say.
Basically, better communication after the breakup.
Yeah.
And I've heard that from a number of people where sometimes you get very close, but then certain things don't fall into place. You go your separate ways, and then you kind of have a mutual understanding.
Right later on,
Yeah,
And now we're married, so
How long have you been married?
Oh,
now?
we just got married in November.
In November, okay.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a year.
Not just yet. Yeah.
You even
We're actually going back.
The Bronx is a different beast.
No, I've never even been to the Bronx, man. And I'm so
There is
mad.
a
I need to
tour
go.
up there.
I'm gonna go.
There is a tour up there.
Like a hip hop type of thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That
shows you like Sedgwick or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard of these things, and
I'm trying to remember the guy that's part of Charlie Chase's Cold Crush.
Grandmaster Cass?
Thank you. He's one of the guys that leads that tour.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing it online.
I actually found that there's like a hip hop museum in New York.
Oh, yeah.
City, yeah, which I knew there had to be, but I just never like actually looked it up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've only been in New York like 4 times now. So. But yeah, I actually just went for Memorial Day with my wife.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I wanted to go up there, not for Memorial Day, but for the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival.
Yeah, man, I actually like missed it because I was like there right before that.
Actually, you know what I'm trying to go up there for? Is the Roots Picnic.
Yo, I want to go to a Roots Picnic so bad. That's in Philly though, ain't it?
No, they now have a New York spot.
Oh,
they're doing also New York. Look it up. Oh, it is coming out. They're doing one in New York, and I think it's like November, like the first weekend of November.
Okay.
Like a Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look up the roster, and I'm telling you, you might
always crazy.
You might want to talk to your wife and be like, hey, do you want to move up that date to that weekend?
Yeah, it was.
Because I think it's like. Give me a second here.
By the way, I couldn't hear anything in the headphones.
You got something ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna echo this out.
Okay. Follow the line for the headphones, and you'll see a little knob.
Oh,
Better?
I got it.
I still don't feel like I saved my life. Even after that.
This is like my trap song. It's funny because like I wanted to do a juxtaposition. You know, like the movie is a really sappy love story,
Okay.
and then I just threw some 808 drums on the sample. Like, fucking, this is switching up, man. Cause I don't really like, you know, usually listen to or make that kind of music.
Yeah.
I just felt like, you know,
if I would've knew back
kind of a good mix.
I think it's okay, you know, as long as it's not like, what's the producer du jour right now, DJ Mustard.
Yeah.
All his beats it's like he just moves it, inches them a little bit further out. There's no like.
It's really the same beat.
Yeah.
Like, kind of regurgitated.
Let me just change up the pattern just a little bit. I'm using the same samples.
Right, yeah.
Man.
You know, I try to be like, you know, more open-minded and stuff, because I know a big thing that I was like running into was a lot of people are just like, man, you're just too traditional, man. You're just too hip-hop. Like, you gotta like open your mind more. And I'm like, I've tried, yo, and I just don't like it, you know. I just don't like it. Like,
For me,
people fuck with Future.
You know,
I can't.
I jokingly tell people that it's like, where are your politics at? Where do you stand on? I'm like, I'm somewhat liberal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my music, I'm pretty conservative on my hip hop.
Yeah, right.
I'm staunchly, you know, I'm right wing with my hip hop, son.
I'm the fucking, you know, Rand Paul, the fucking.
No, you know, for me, it's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've opened up my ears up to a certain extent, but
Right.
you know, with some of the shit nowadays, and him and me have some really good conversations frequently regarding music. You know, and the thing is, where now the beats are complicated for the most part, depending on who you talk to, but the lyrical content. You know, there's an artist out there that there's an interview that they did. I don't know if you ever heard of Little Uzi Vert.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Okay, where he was gonna play some Gangstar, and
Yeah,
he's like, if you play me that
oh.
old ass beat, I ain't rhyming on them.
Yeah.
It's like, personally, if that would have happened to me, I would have been get the fuck out of my studio then.
Yeah,
You don't need to, you know, like, and if you
that's
heard the
the whole
free
culture now, man.
No, I know, but it's not every kid
No, I know,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of them. Like I was just watching a video with Vic Mensa.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard the name, but I've never seen him, you know, rhyme. And then I see him on Sway in the Morning, and he just, you know, went in like for almost 10 minutes on a supposed freestyle, but still, he was on beat. I was like, damn.
So yeah, that's the thing. I'm with you. Like, not all the new stuff is bad per se,
Yeah.
but
Oh, let me get an instrumental. Hold on. I'm over here talking, and let's see. Come on. There it is. Let's play. There we go. All right, let's finish up because we got like 5 minutes, and by the time he comes on,
okay.
let's talk a little bit more. You know what I was actually listening to earlier today? I was listening to a Tribe Called Quest remix on Mixcloud. So this, you know, they were playing like some of the original samples, a little bit of the remixes, you know, some freestyles. I can't remember the name of the DJ, but I know I still got it on my phone. So still in the studio here with Knowledge, and the name of his album is From
the Darkness Comes the Light.
Okay. And the album is available, once again?
It's at knowledgeisinfinite.bandcamp.com.
Word up. And we've been talking about some of the songs. The one that we just played, I'll let you mention the name of the song because I'm trying to pull it up again.
Yeah, it's called Love Hella Right. And then also in parentheses, Eternal Sunshine. And it's basically,
Yes, sir.
you know, I got the idea from the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and which is like a love story with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. And was just watching the movie and heard the little part in there and just had to sample it, man. And so I sampled that. I made that beat myself as well. And then I wanted like a bit of the juxtaposition, so I threw some like kind of trappy drums on it, you know, like the 808 trappy drums, you know, like as the young kids say.
Yeah.
And so it's a real dope song, man, and it's really intricate, like lyrically speaking. Actually, basically, go through a synopsis of the movie from Jim Carrey's character's perspective. So like my whole verse, the whole song is basically me rapping as Jim Carrey. You know, he was always one of my favorite actors, so I just kind of thought it would be cool. And then it kind of also pertained to what I was going through at the time with my now wife, so it worked out perfectly, man.
Word up. It's one of those that, how can I put it? You know, you grow apart really quickly, but then you realize that you need that other person.
Yeah, and there's no way you
And
can
congratulations,
get
you've been married since November?
Since November. I got married last November.
Yes, sir.
And so I took the plunge, and I'm, you know, happily married now, man, and I'm with it, man. I'm living the life.
Okay. Hey, you know, eventually I will be there myself. So, you know, I got a couple of friends that have taken the plunge. Actually, one of the artists that was just here earlier
he said
said,
he's like about to get married, right?
Yeah, I think it's next weekend. So congratulations to him, you know, in advance. But in terms of the album, we're talking about 14 tracks, and
That's right.
you know, your collaborators.
Yep.
Logic
That's
for
my
Beats.
nephew. Yeah,
That's
Logic
your nephew?
For,
I didn't know
that's my
that.
nephew, yep. And then Logic for Beats, that's like my right-hand man right there. That's partner in rhyme, you know, so he's on there. Raheem Sama, which was on my first album, he's on there. He drops a verse for me. Actually, we played that joint.
Yep.
Then I got some new collabs on there. I got Dynasty on the album.
Which we played here.
Yeah, that's right. I sent it to y'all a few weeks ago.
Yep.
I also got Breakdown on the album.
Word.
From Guam Massive.
Yep.
He actually was on the first album too, so he made it again, and he actually played guitar on this album. Like the track that he's on, he played the guitars for that whole song. So it was actually pretty dope, man. So got him to play guitars. I also got Mike Fatone from Burning Tree. They were like a reggae ska band from St. Pete.
Yeah.
He played the bass on that song. I got some singing done by Alexis Cruz. She's a new artist that
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, I've worked with her. She's out of South Florida. So I've worked with her for a few times. And that's basically it. There's a few, you know, there's a good mix, I think, of like features and then songs with just me on it. So yeah, I think it's a solid album.
I still have your first album. I know it's a red cover.
Knowledge is Infinite.
Knowledge is Infinite.
That's right.
There's a couple of tracks that once in a while we'll still play from that album here on the show.
Yes.
And it's one of those that, how can I put it? It's very underrated.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that you know, your name comes up and there's a level of respect that people put towards you that you may not be aware of. You know, when they hear your production, when they hear your lyrical content, the production in terms of like the being able to mix it down, that's very usually clean. You know, a lot of people sometimes, I don't know who your collaborator is there or if it's...
I actually mixed this entire album myself.
This one, you did?
This one, yes. The first one, Rudy Rue 100.
Okay, yeah.
Did the mixing, but this one I did all myself.
Okay.
I did all the recording, the editing, the mixing, the mastering, all of that.
What do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
I use Pro Tools 12. So the latest version of Pro Tools. I have some really great microphones, a really great space at my house that I've dedicated just to recording. And then I also use the Machine Micro to make my beats with. And that's another thing, actually, this album is very personal to me too, because I made pretty much every beat on this album, with the exception of one of the beats.
Okay.
And that's actually produced by this cat from Serbia. Who found he actually found me through like when I did the video with Dynasty.
Yeah.
I was on one of her videos, the one with her and DJ Premier, Epic Dynasty.
Yeah.
I was like an extra in the video, and I met Premier at the time or whatever, and he had this huge fan from Serbia that hit me up on Facebook. He was like, "Yo, I make beats. I saw you was in the video with Dynasty, like." And so he sent me some stuff, and like we've had a relationship ever since. And so he made a beat on here, and then like Logic for Beats helped me make one of the beats as well.
Okay.
So other than that, I made all the other tracks.
And you were actually Dynasty was, I believe, in one of your videos.
Yeah, she was. She was in the the one with me in Breakdown, Homeland Security.
Okay.
Yeah. She was like a little extra in my video too. So we kind of like switched back and forth with that. Yeah,
Definitely.
I appreciated that too.
I remember getting the invite. Unfortunately, I just
yeah,
couldn't
man.
make it.
I was trying to get the whole crew together, man,
Yeah.
so we could start a revolution right after the video. You know, I was trying to go run up to City Hall, man. I was ready, man.
But it was still a good look, you know.
Yeah.
I think we have played that song here. I'm not 100%
Oh yeah,
sure.
you definitely have.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. You
Appreciate
know,
y'all having me.
definitely look for the album. It's available
Yes,
on
please.
Knowledge is Infinite.
Yep.
.bandcamp.com.
That's right.
And you can also find your first album on there, and
Yep.
I think you have an EP also. Available?
Yeah, I have like a little mixtape on there that's
Okay.
actually free. You can download it for free.
Okay.
And then I have a few other singles that's on there as well. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. And I was not aware that Zace was your nephew. So.
Yeah, that's my nephew. It's my brother's son, and
Okay.
like he's like my protege, man. I'm like the Dr. Dre to his Snoop Dogg. You know?
Okay, all right. It's a
Yeah.
good look because I've heard some stuff from him that's
He's dope,
pretty
man.
good, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he's a lot better than I was at his age. So he's really progressed. He's like he just turned 21, so he's like really motivated right now. He's at that age where he's like real hungry, and so he just dropped the album not too long ago, and he's working on more material as well. So we're trying to
You
like
produced some stuff on his album?
No, honestly, man, he got the production all under
He's doing
hand,
production
man.
himself?
Yeah, he does the production himself.
Oh,
He's
okay.
actually like way nicer than me at making beats, man. It's funny because like, we was talking about like when I started producing, like when I first started producing, he used to always be around me as a kid a lot, and so I would just have him there with me and like showing him how to use. I showed him how to use Pro Tools when he was a kid, and then I gave him a copy of it. And then, like, a few months later, he comes back showing me stuff, and I'm just like, oh, man. Like, whatever. I created a monster. And so, Zace is, like, pretty much the illest producer, man, like, that I know. Him and Logic for beats. So I'm blessed, man. They actually make some dope beats, both of them. So, I kind of will do my own beats, but, like, I also steal their beats all the time, man, because they got some heat.
Well, we need to have Zace come through.
I know. He was supposed to come tonight, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately.
That's all right. We'll have him on soon.
Yeah.
So definitely have him, and I don't know if Logic for Beats is coming out with his own stuff. So
yeah, hopefully soon too, man.
Okay.
He's been working on some stuff actually. So
okay,
We're
then
trying to
you
push.
can motivate him to come through.
I'm trying to
eventually.
push, man. I'm trying to push it.
All right, definitely. So we appreciate you stopping by. We got to make way for House of Soul, Batman in the Kenny K studio. I think he's ready to go. So
Right on.
we need to get ourselves out of here. I don't know if you wanted to say anything before we get out of here.
No, definitely.
Yes.
Make sure this mic is up. There we go.
Yeah.
I just want to say shouts to everybody that's been calling, texting, Facebook, all social media. Appreciate y'all listening. Those who's, always supported Saturday Night Shutdown, just want to say thanks. Until next time.
All right.
I'm tired. My feet are hurting.
Okay.
Been up on my feet all night. I've been up since 6 a.m.
Oh, Lord.
Gosh.
Your social media knowledge is...
Yeah, so you can hit me up on Instagram at Knowledge is Infinite. You can hit me up on Twitter at Indigenous Ways. You can hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Knowledge is King.
Knowledge is king. Okay.
That's right. And then knowledgeisinfinite.bandcamp.com. That's the best place to go because you can hear all my music, you can stream it, you can download it, and you can help support local music, which is very important.
Definitely. All right. Let's make way for House of Soul. Batman, it's on you, man.
Thank you.
Big shouts to Knowledge, too.
Thank you.